Top of the morning, good people. Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another edition of Double the Innocence with your boy E-Dub, gem dropper and a definite showstopper. I gotta ask you guys a serious question about these lists that seem to be coming out, man, because some of these lists ain't making much sense to me. You know, and a lot of you people heard about the controversy about the Bleachers Report, the list that came out with the top 10 NBA players. I believe that list, if I'm not mistaken, was top 10 NBA players of all time. And we saw the ruckus that created on the social media surface. So here they are now. They came out with another list for the WNBA, the best players for 2025 that are in the league right now this season. So that's what I want to be up here discussing, because, you know, that list here is a little confusing to me. Wow. A little bit confusing. Those are some weird looking shoes. But anyways, just going to wait a few minutes, see if there's going to be a couple people that are going to come up here and join me. And if not, we're just going to get right into it. I want somebody to explain to me how it is possible that they came out with a list. There's 3 different lists I looked at for the WNBA. I looked at the WNBA itself created a list. ESPN has a list of the top 10 best players. And the Bleachers Report. Those are the 3 lists that I looked over, that I reviewed. On 2 of those lists, they don't even have Caitlin Clark's name on the top 10. On 2 of the lists. On one of the lists, they have Caitlin Clark ranked number 9. That list I could mess around with. Having Caitlin Clark ranked number 9, I could pay a little bit of attention to. I don't totally agree with having her at number 9, but at least she's on the top 10 list. The other 2 lists, I'm trying to understand how it is possible that Caitlin Clark didn't even make the top 10. How is it possible? Because to me, it's like creating a list when Michael Jordan was actually active and not putting him on that list. How is it possible that the WNBA created lists and they don't have Caitlin Clark ranked as one of the top 10 best players in that league? How is that possible? Somebody has to explain that to me. Yeah, you're right. I have to agree with you right there. Yeah, Vince is a better dunker than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is a better all-around player than Vince Carter. But Vince Carter is a better dunker than Michael Jordan. I have to agree with that. But please, somebody explain to me how it's possible you're going to create a list. How are you going to create a list in the WNBA of the top 10 best players and not add Caitlin Clark onto that list? How is that possible? It makes absolutely 0 sense to me, because if you're asking me personally if I think that Caitlin Clark is the best player in the WNBA, no, I don't think she's the best player in the WNBA. But I do believe she is at least one of the top 10 best players in the WNBA. I do honestly believe that. And I'm thinking the only reason why she didn't make that list this season is because she's been injured. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me. That's the only thing that could make me understand not putting her on a list in the WNBA, a league that seems to be marketing it off of her, and she's not going to be in the top 10. I know of John Cena. Yes, I do. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, John Cena is retiring, no? Jen from the block. Welcome. Come on, WNBA fans. I need you guys to explain this to me, man. Put something in the comment section to make me fully understand how Caitlin Clark is not making the top 10 list of best players in the WNBA. I checked 3 lists. I checked 3 different lists yesterday. The Bleachers Report, ESPN, and the WNBA. On 2 of those lists, they don't even have her. Yeah, John Cena is. Yeah. John Cena, that's what I heard. He is retiring. Yeah. I can't argue with that. If you say you have Curry as the best shooter, I cannot argue with you, my friend. The proof is in the pudding. He's changed the game. Caitlin Clark is one of the best shooters in the WNBA. How is she not a top 10 best player? These lists are messing a lot of different things up, man, because it's making people watch these games from a different lens. Sorry to hear that. Jennifer, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm hoping you're an individual that enjoys sports a little bit, because up here, for some strange reason, I tend to talk a lot about sports. But you're more than welcome. Thank you for joining. Blake, you agree with me, right? She should be amongst the top 10 best players in the WNBA. I mean, if it wasn't for her, especially this season, the league would still be suffering. So how is it possible you do not have her on the top 10? Listen, the ESPN list is the only list that even though it's still debatable, at least they put her on the list. She is ranked number 9 on that particular list. Now, the number 1 player that they have on I think, if I'm not mistaken, all 3 of the list I can't argue with. Napisha Caller from Minnesota. That girl's a beast. Okay? And she happens to be playing for my favorite team in the WNBA. So that girl, yeah, she could flat out ball. An individual that, in my own personal biased opinion, I wish that they did put on that list was Kayla McBride, because I love Kayla McBride. I love the way she plays the game. She plays the game with extreme passion, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So that's my favorite player in the league. But if I take my biasness out of it, is she really a top 10 player in the league? Maybe not. Do I agree with the positions that they had her in, like in the 20s and stuff like that? I don't agree with that either. I think, give me anywhere between 15 and 18 for Kayla McBride, I'll be okay with that. Anything less than that, yeah, I'm going to challenge it. But for Caitlin Clark not to be on the top 10, John Cena came to your school. It's impressive. I hope you took a picture with him. I hope you took a picture with him, because, hey, with the way things are happening nowadays, like the WWE lost an icon the other day. So please ask your question. As long as it's a respectable question, I'll do my best to answer it. Like I said, I don't believe that Caitlin Clark is the best player in the WNBA. I don't think so by a long shot. I don't think so by a long shot. But I do believe she is one of the best players in the WNBA. So for her not to be ranked like at least amongst the top 10. Are the Blue Jays going to win the World Series? That's a good question. I'd love to see it. They're playing some pretty decent baseball this year from what I've seen. So we're just going to have to wait and see, man. I don't want to make any kind of predictions, especially now, and go ahead and jinx their entire season. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to ride the wave. Right now, they're playing some outstanding baseball. And they're ranked up there with one of the, like some of the best teams out there, if I'm not mistaken. So with that being said, as a Canadian, I'm just going to enjoy the wave. I'm just going to enjoy it to the maximum because it would be amazing if they could actually do it this year. Every year we keep hearing about how good they are, and every year they seem to let us down. John G, hello. How you doing, sir? Let me know what you think about this list that the WNBA came up with. I wouldn't know. I don't eat Popeyes. Sorry. Wouldn't know. I don't eat Popeyes. That joke has a little bit of humor to it, depending on how you take it. But you see, I'm an individual. I have a pretty decent sense of humor. So now that I'm actually sitting down here thinking about it, that's, you know, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. Caitlin Clark not making the top 10 list of best players in the WNBA is baffling to me. It's mind-baffling to me. How is that possible? I know, you keep telling me you have a question, but you haven't asked it yet. You need to ask your question. Please ask it. And I'll, you know, I'll see what I can do about answering it. As long as you're not coming with no kind of disrespect, then I'll be more than happy to answer it, if I can. Have yourself a great day too, John G. Like I said, I'm okay. I like jokes, and I'm not a very sensitive individual. So hey, I'll take it as a joke at first. And you know, when you sit down and read that particular one or whatever the case may think about it, it's not bad. I have no idea. I'll be totally honest with you, my friend. I'm part of the. I'm in my 50s right now. I was into the WWE when the E was an F. If you understand what I'm saying, that's when I followed wrestling. I've been out of touch with wrestling for a very, very long time. Every now and then I might go back in and check it out. Like, you know, if, you know, my sons are watching it or whatever the case may be, I might. But I'm very confused with everything that's going on in it right now. You see, I come from my favorite wrestler back in the day was Jimmy Superfly Snuka, which a lot of you young cats may know nothing at all about. So in terms of all the new people that are in it, like you're asking me that question about a jelly roll, I have no idea. I have no idea how or when he entered and start to become part of that whole universe. You're still Jenny from the block. Come on, Jenny from the block, ask your question. But I mean, this is the third time you're telling me that you have a question you haven't asked it yet, so I'm beginning to wonder if you really do have a question. Well, maybe, you know what? Instead of you asking your question, answer mine. How is it possible that Caitlin Clark cannot make the top 10 list of best players in the WNBA? How is that possible? How is it possible? No, I don't think she should be number one because I don't think she's the best player in the league. But I do think that she could at least be ranked amongst the top 10. Wouldn't you say? I mean, since she's coming to the league, we know we can't really base it on that, but since she's come to the league, a lot of things have changed. The WNBA players are no longer flying on commercial flights. The league is finally starting to generate a little bit of money. Now, reasons for this has to have something to do with her game, no? Reasons for stuff like this to be taking place has to have something to do with her game. I'm just saying. I'll be the first to tell you there's a good couple people, there's a good couple names on that list that I really don't know because like I'm getting used to the whole thing. Wolf Builds. You know you could get a shout out here. Why the hell not? Word up, buddy. Word up, word up, word up. Blessings. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for putting something in the comment section. Yeah. You know how we do things here, man. We're here for everyday people, man. Because I consider myself an everyday guy. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And any one of you individuals, don't be shy. Hit the like button, please. You know, let's grow in this algorithm. If by chance you're not subscribed to the channel, don't be shy, man. Hit those subscribe buttons, man. Let's help this channel grow. I don't plan on going anywhere because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy coming up here and giving my own personal intake on stuff that I see going on, especially in the sports sector. I have no idea how Jelly Roll went to the WWE. I have no idea. None whatsoever. I didn't even, as a matter of fact, you're giving me information that I did not know. Because a Jelly Roll I know is a singer. I had no idea he was in the WWE. Yeah. Well, like I said, man, my main purpose of coming up here was to really ask that question about Caitlin Clark, try to understand how it's possible for a top 10 list to be made and her not be on it. How is that possible? I find it rather confusing, and it's kind of sending a little bit of a mixed message. You know what I mean? You're marketing the whole entire league off of her, but yet still she cannot be on a list of the top 10 best players. It has to be because she's been injured for the majority of this season. That's the only explanation that would make any sense. With that being said, people, I want you guys to share, like, and subscribe to this channel. Help this channel grow. Double the Innocence with your boy E-Dub is out. Have a blessed day, peeps.